a piece of shit. Biggest stack of pubes. I was like the devil. Shannon, out! Fuck you. Groom that shit. Hey guys, it's Channon Rose and I am back at it again with another Storytime video. This story is going to be how I got kicked out of junior high. I just want you to know if this is your first time watching my video, I've been kicked out of like everything, almost every school, every camp I went to, because I was just really bored as a child, very disturbed mentally. I was like the definition of a rebel child. I got kicked out of like 3 different junior high schools. I was like the devil child. I talk about it all in my book, The Story of Channon Rose. So if you haven't seen that and you want to hear more about my stories, and you want to read about them, my whole childhood based from like when I was born till 18 years old is all in that book. I haven't told all the stories on YouTube, obviously, because, they're in my book, but I am going to tell one of those stories today about how I got kicked out of junior high. So for 7th grade, I had gone to like a new junior high school, and for me, it was really different because I really just got kind of kicked out of all my schools. So I never had like friends for like long periods of time, like at a certain school. So I was like just really not excited about going to this new school. It was all new people. Every like couple of months, it was like new school, all new people. And you know how uncomfortable that is. Like if you've ever gone to a brand new school or you've moved away and like you have to go to a new school and you're like the new kid and you don't know anyone, it's like a very uncomfortable feeling. And I just had that throughout all of high school, all of junior high. It was not fun. And I was just not a good kid either. And if you were around me, like I was like a bad influence. Like I was the kid that like you didn't want your kids hanging out with. Because if you were hanging out with me, you were definitely going to be getting in trouble like every day, multiple times per day. So basically, it was my first junior high that I had gone to for 7th grade. I don't know where you guys are, but like our junior high starts at 7th grade. It's my first day of school. I go in and I just had this attitude of like 0 fucks given. I did not care about anything or anyone, and except for myself. Like that's really all I cared about. And even then, like I didn't really care about myself. I had a lot of issues. I had like a really bad eating disorder at this time. I was smoking cigarettes like, every day. I was a bad kid. Let's just put it that way. I was doing things a lot of kids like should never do at the age that I was at throughout my whole adolescence, basically. So I had gone to this school. I started to make some new friends, the bad kids. Whoever was being bad, like, let's be friends. So I basically attracted like some of these bad kids around me, and, we would go in the bathroom and smoke cigarettes. Everything you shouldn't be doing, that's what we were doing. We had this one teacher. I did not like her at all, and she was a sassy little bitch. So one day in school, I'll never forget this. His name was Hugo. Hugo was a very eccentric kid, okay? He was fucking hilarious, and I loved him. We would hang out in this class. We had the class together with this teacher. I'm not gonna say her name because we did some awful things to her. Just telling this story over again makes me feel like such a shitty person. Like I was such a piece of shit when I was little. So basically whenever the teacher would write on the board, we would crumble up pieces of our like notebook paper and we'd fucking chuck it at her head like as hard as we could. And sometimes we do like little pieces of paper to try to get it stuck in her hair. At the time it was really funny. Thinking back of it now, it's funny to laugh at, but like we were so awful. That poor teacher did not deserve any of that. Even though she was kind of a bitch to us, she still didn't deserve like what we were doing to her. And she had this like black curly like ratted hair, and she would always wear it down. And so when we threw these pieces of paper at her, sometimes it would get stuck in her hair and she wouldn't feel it, so she wouldn't know. And like she'd be walking around the class like teaching with all these like fucking little pieces of like white all in her black hair that people could see, and people would laugh and think it's funny. So we did that to her like all the time, right? But eventually, like after a few days, like that would get boring. Like been there, done that. We need to do something different. I don't know where we got the idea. I don't know if it was, I still don't remember if it was Hugo's idea or my idea. It was probably my idea. But we got this idea to cut off Hugo's pubes in class and put them on the homework paper that we were turning in to the teacher. So Hugo cut some of his pubes in class. I wish we had Snapchat then, because dude, my Snapchat would go viral if I was like in 7th grade again, let me just say. So he cuts off his pubes, and me and like some of the other class that were sitting around are like dying. We can't believe that he's actually doing it. I didn't think that he was actually gonna do it. It was just like funny, But Hugo's crazy ass fucking, no joke, takes these little pair of scissors that he has. We carried like these pouches, and we'd have to have like, we had art class, we had horticulture, like all these crazy classes, right? So we had like these little pouches you had to carry, like pens, pencils, scissors, glue stick, all this shit, right? So we had scissors. So he pulls out his little scissors from his like little pouch or whatever, And I'm not even joking. He like pulls his pants like away, takes his boxers, pulls those away, puts his hands in his boxers with the scissors, and fucking, like, no joke, cuts like the biggest stack of pubes I've ever seen. It was the nastiest thing, and I was just like, oh, Hugo, like, you need to fucking groom that shit. Like, that should not be coming out of there. That is way too many pubes for anyone to be having on their body. Oh, it like made me like want to vomit a little bit. And so he, no joke, like, doesn't just sprinkle a few on his paper. He fucking puts like a whole bush down on his fucking homework. And then I'm like, put some on mine. So he takes a little bit from his and puts it on my homework. And the teacher is coming around to, like, you know, collect our homework. And she takes Hugo's paper and she looks down on it like confused or whatever. And I am trying so hard not to fucking bust up laughing, because I am just like dying on the inside, like trying so hard not to laugh because she's so confused. And everyone else in the class is being really quiet because they're scared. They're like, oh, we're gonna get in trouble. Like, we're gonna get in trouble. And not me. I didn't give a fuck. I get in trouble all the time. So, like, I wasn't scared. I was just, like, dying on the inside, trying not to laugh because I thought it was so fucking funny. It was funny then, okay? It's so gross and mean now that I think of it. She comes to get my paper. She looks down on it. And now she sees it on my paper and she knows that, like, I'm a really bad kid. Shannon, out! I'm like, excuse me? Principal's office now. I think once she got to my paper, she realized like what the fuck it was. Because I think at first she thought it was maybe someone's hair. But then when she got to mine and she saw just like a little bit of it on my paper, I think she realized it was fucking pubes and was like not having it. I thought everyone's gonna start laughing. The whole class was just fucking dead silent. Okay, this isn't funny anymore, but like, fuck you, teacher, I'm out. And I'm like, you know what, fuck this. Fuck you, I'm not going to the principal's office. Like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. So what do? I take my little rebel rouser ass outside and I start smoking a cigarette on campus while everyone else is in class. Like, fuck this life, zero fucks given, like smoking my cigarette, thinking I'm so cool because I just got kicked out of class and I'm not even gonna go to the principal's office. Like, I'm just gonna come out here and chill and wait for my next class to start. Well, that didn't really go as planned because my teacher was so pissed off that she ended up calling the principal and like telling the principal like what I did. I guess she had to like call her and tell her like why I was coming in. Well, I didn't really like plan that far in advance in my brain. So the principal realizes I'm not in her office and a little bit of time goes by. I'm outside still fucking, you know, doing my thing. And all of a sudden, our principal comes walking over towards me and she's like, Miss Lindley, that's my maiden last name. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm still smoking. My house is so crazy. Most kids would fucking put the cigarette out real quick. I'm like, yeah, that's me. She's like, you can't smoke on campus. I'm like, well, I'm doing it. I was really bad, you guys. Like, I didn't give a fuck about anything. And I was just like, fuck the world. Okay, well, I'm gonna call the police then and have them come pick you up. And I'm like, oh, bitch. I'm not going to jail today. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go home. If I can't, like, smoke on campus, I'll just smoke at home. This is what I told her. I was so immature and like so dumb. So she goes back and she's gonna go call the police now. So my ass is like, I don't feel like going to jail today. I don't feel like going to jail ever. So my ass gets my backpack and my little cigarette that I'm still smoking and I start walking home. It was like 20-minute walk, but like whatever. I was gonna walk home because I was not about to go to the police because I did not want to go to jail. Like, I'd been there enough times and every time that I went there they had to call my mom. I would really get in trouble from my mom, so I was like, So I ended up walking home. I actually saw the police cars like as I was walking like away. I could like see police cars like passing me, like going to the school. They didn't pick me up, they just like fucking drove on by. So I was like, okay, I'm good, right? And not thinking anything of it. Like, okay, I figured like they'll probably call my mom and like say something, but my mom works late so I can get the messages and I just delete them. That's like what I normally did. Like whenever I ditched school they would like call your parents or whatever, but back then like we didn't have cell phones. I think we had pagers, so like I would just delete the messages like on the home voicemail before my mom got home. So so that's what I ended up doing. My principal called, but I was home by that time and I just fucking deleted the message. The next day I went to school and I was expelled. So that's basically how I got kicked out of that school. I wasn't even there that long. I think I was only there for like a few months and then I had to go to like a new school. As like crazy that as that story is, and like my mindset back then, I want you guys to know, obviously I've changed so much as I've grown up, but I think like some people don't change. Some people that are like really bad in high school are still bad like now. My advice to people now that are maybe like that or are like that now in school is like, you think that you're cool like then, but when you grow up and you look back at it, you feel like such a douchebag and such an asshole. Is it really worth it? No, it's not. Trust me, it's definitely not. I like missed out on making so many good friendships because I kept having to switch schools that like I never got to like make those cool friendships that you make with people from high school or junior high. I really missed out on a lot of my education because I was such a fucking dickhead in school. And when you get older, like that's not cool. You want to like know shit. You want to be smart. Thankfully, I got an education and I'm not as stupid as I should be for missing out on all that school. It just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth getting in trouble. The worst part I think now looking back on it is like how much fucking shit I put my parents through and my family through, and I feel so bad for them that like every day now that I'm an adult, I like am so nice to them because I feel so bad for what I put them through when I was younger. Be funny, be the nice kid. People remember the nice kids, you know what I mean? I was an asshole. I'm not an asshole anymore though. I hope that you guys love me now. If you guys knew me then, you probably wouldn't like me. I'm glad you guys know me as the person I am today because I'm so different from who I used to be. I'm glad that I've changed because life is a lot better now and I'm much happier, you know? I was so miserable back then. I think that's like why I acted that way, but I woke up. So anyways, that was my story about how I got kicked out of school. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you want to see more videos like this, if you hit that red subscribe button, you will get notifications and it will let you know like when I have new videos up. So I hope that you guys like this. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video.